Hey everybody. Okay. Sunday, October 12th. Like I said in the last video, I'm going to tell a story. Story is 1989, and my ex-wife and I were living in Poultney, Vermont. She made her living boarding and training Morgan shore horses, and she acquired a new trailer for them, which is a triple axle 4-horse with a big dressing room on the front, Kingston. And the truck that we had at the time was really not adequate for pulling that around. So we went out to find what we needed for a truck. And after much looking around, we ended up at the Ford dealer in Bennington, Vermont, which was Flynn Motors at the time. And long story short, we found the truck that we wanted, got it in. It was an 89 F-250 4-wheel drive. It had, I don't remember all the numbers and everything, but I know the axle ratios were more conducive for towing. It did have a 5-speed transmission, 5.8, but other than that, it was a very plain truck. I mean, the only two real options that were on the truck was it did have cruise control, and it did have an AM/FM cassette, which was, at the time, cassette was it. So, bought the truck, brought it home, and that would have been in the spring of 1989. And used the truck primarily for towing the trailer. We had other trucks. I had 2 plow trucks at the time, and another personal truck that I rode around with a half-ton 4-wheel drive. And so in 1993, or actually it was 94, the winter of 1994, the beginning, January, February, we got a very, very cold snap, and we decided, you know what, we don't have to do this. Her family was living here in Nevada at the time, and we've been out and visited and kind of liked it out here. And so we decided to make the move. And so she basically closed up her business, liquidated everything, for moving. I sold plow trucks, all the stuff. You know me, I always have a lot of cars, and I had a lot of cars. I sold them all off, all with the exception of the 89 F-250. I figured when I moved out here, I'm only going to have one thing, and that's what I wanted, so I kept that. We didn't sell it. And it kind of became my daily driver at that point, selling everything else off, and I drove it for a few months every day, and I did some stuff to it. I had some accessories. Before then, it hadn't really had much of anything because, it was just a trailer puller, and really all it was. And so I added a few things to it. Anyways, so we moved out here. I actually drove that truck out here which would have been a couple weeks before Christmas, I believe, if I remember correctly, in 1994. And we were here for Christmas. Early in 1995, we purchased a house, and the house had to be moved. Basically, we purchased the house. It was in a construction zone for a new highway, so the house had to be moved. So we got all of our bank financing and land and all that, and did the house, and moved it. And in the course of moving the house, we ran into a whole bunch of stuff that we hadn't expected or planned on. So essentially, we were kind of short on money for finishing the house. Because of that, I got in the truck and I drove it down to the local Ford dealer, and I walked in and sold it to them. They wrote me a check, and that would have been, like I say, late winter, early spring of 1995. Sold the truck. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but on the wall here behind me, those are actually the license plates off that truck. September 95, so would have put those on September 94. Yep, that's right. So those are the license plates off that truck. So anyways, that was, what, 19 and a half years ago, almost 20 years ago. And so, life goes on. The truck, a year or two after that, of course, my wife and I divorced, and we moved on, and I was still in Carson City at the time, had a business there and stuff. And a couple years after that, the truck appeared. There was a used car lot down there, and the truck appeared there. And because I remember I stopped and looked at it, it was still sitting there. And they'd put a stripe on it, and used car lot stuff. And so a lot of this stuff that I had put on the truck had been taken off. But anyways, it was the truck. And I noticed that, it disappeared from there, and I did see it around Carson. For the next year or so, every now and then I'd see it. And there was one place on this specific street where it was always sitting, so I figured that's where it lived. And then just didn't see it anymore. Disappeared. So kind of moved on, and, we ended up here, and everything's going on. So the expedition, which I showed you in my last video, as I was looking around for something for that, I saw an ad on Craigslist, and it was for a 1989 Ford F-250. And so, I looked at the ad, and there was photographs of the truck, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, God, that's my truck. That's it. And kept looking at the photos and stuff like that, and I said, I was 90% sure it was the truck. And of course, 20 years later. So I got a hold of the guy, contacted him, and he wanted what I thought was a little bit much, for the truck to purchase. But anyways, so, and I still wasn't even sure if it was mine or not. And so we got contact, going back and forth, contacting each other, and it turns out he was a young family, and he'd had the truck for a couple of years, and they were expecting a baby, and they needed more of a family vehicle and stuff like that. So I kind of mentioned to him, we had this old Jeep here that really nobody used anymore, and just kind of sitting around, and if he might be interested in that. So he said he would. So yesterday, I drove out, met him in Fernley, Nevada. He's from Fallon, and he had the truck. And before I went out, what I'd done on Friday, because I didn't have any records or paperwork or anything left for the truck, and I actually we had Allstate Insurance in 1995, and I contacted Allstate, and they still had record of the truck, so I got the VIN number of the truck. So yesterday I go out, got the Jeep, out we go, and he's there with the truck, and sure enough, it's my truck. So we kind of went back and forth and everything, and then we made a deal. We traded him. I traded him the Jeep for the truck, and I don't know. The truck has been about 100,000 miles since I had it. When I had it, it had 64,000 miles on it, something like that. And when I sold it, and now the truck has 165,000 on it, so about 100,000 miles. It's been, I don't know how many owners it's been through. I don't know, much of really history. All I know is that this young fella had it for 2 years, and he says he really hasn't done much to it. It's pretty much the way he got it. He got it from a guy in Hazen, Nevada, which is a ways away. But anyways, my truck has come home, and it's kind of neat to find a vehicle 20 years later. It's kind of beat up. It's been used. It's very weathered. Both the exterior of the truck is a freaking disaster. The interior, not much better. But she still runs real good. It drives good. Steering's a little loose. The brakes are a little low, but other than that, it seems to have been mechanically taken care of. It's just cosmetically, it needs some help. But anyways, it's here, and I'm very excited to have it back. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like an old friend coming home. And, I really didn't need it for anything. I just wanted it back. Once I found out that it actually, and I verified the VIN number, and it is my truck, and once I found that out, I just wanted it back. So let's go out and I'll show it to you guys and take a look at it. Like I say, she's pretty tired looking, but like I say, I'm still excited to have it. So I'll go out, take a wander, and there she is. Like I say, 1989 F-250. Not much paint left on it. There's none on the roof. There's very little on the hood, tops of the front fenders. It's been, I'd say it's been well used. No damage here. I think it was primarily used as a ranch work truck somewhere, hunting truck. The shell is its shell's coming off. I'm not a big fan of shells anyway, so I've got this on Craigslist to sell this. They put screwed hooks into the side of her. Say the paint is just a disaster. Tailgate's pretty killed down through there. Bumper's bent. Yeah, like I say, it's been used. The inside of the box is kind of beat up. These flaps were actually on it when I had it. Because they're metal on the inside, and what it was is we had this truck. My wife, to get up into the truck, we had running boards on it. There was black running boards, which when it became basically my driver, I took them off. I didn't like it, so it got the rubber flaps put on, and it already had those metal ones matched the running boards. And I put those wheels on. Like I say, they still, are what they are. When I got rid of it, it did have BF Goodrich TA radials on it. Of course, 100,000 miles. It's been through some tires. We can take the inside. The door's a little loose, but it's definitely out of adjustment. This is door up. Seat. This seat cover was on it when I had the truck, and there's not much left of the seat. Like I said, this is a very, very plain truck. It had just a rubber mat. Didn't have carpeting. With a 5-speed, somebody's been into there. That's all screwed up. Dash is cracked. The windshield's all busted. This hook is gone. Here, the interior panels are broken and hanging loose. It's acquired a gun rack at some point in time. That's gotta go. This little deal here behind the seat, I put that in. That was in it when I had it. It's still there. Kind of a handy thing on a regular cab truck. Gives you a place to put some stuff. Let's see. She's, of course, this lived for 5.5 years back east, and these red plugs that you see here, and like here, and what they were is for oil undercoating. We used to take these every 6 months and have them oil sprayed. in the rocker panels, the whole bottom underneath, and it really kept them from rusting. That's why this truck, there's no real rust on the truck. If you look up underneath, see, you get a little bit of the crusties, you know, on the frame, stuff like that. There's not much of anything left anymore of that oil because, you know, it hadn't been done. But I mean, the truck, having been out here now, that's the only reason this truck is still existing. It's because it's been here. Like I say, you know, pedal pads, some kind of a goofy brake controller. It's had holes drilled in the dash. Radio doesn't work. A couple of the gauges don't work. The cruise control still works. And I'd say it does seem to. She does run good. Still, I'll see if I can get the hood open. I had to mess with this. And I'm gonna set you guys down for just a second here. There. Turn you off. I gotta grab a pair of pliers. Okay, we got the hood popped. Okay, it's 5.8, fuel injected. Battery hold down's missing. But the interesting thing, it's got a bunch of stupid crap on it. But yesterday I took it and drove it over, and it passed the emission test, because where the county that it came from, there's no emissions requirement, so we do have it here. So I took it down and they tested it, and it passed just like new. But you know, we got a few things here and there. You know, the chrome piece is missing off of that. I don't know, it's just more of the same. Like I say, she's been used. But I'm very excited to have it back. It's just, I don't know, pretty cool. And so you gotta, like I say, the tailgate's pretty messed up. So we'll fix it up. Like I said, the inside of the box is beat up a little bit, but not too bad. That I put that bed mat in it. That was in it. I'm gonna get rid of it. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up there. See, that's where the fifth wheel trailer connector is, right there in the side of the bed. Yeah. So it just so happens, though, that today they were having a sale at the, or actually this whole weekend they're having a sale at the local U-Pick salvage yard. So I went down and I did actually find a bunch of stuff for it. Start putting it back in shape. Actually, pretty excited to find that dash pad. It's pretty nice. It just needs to be cleaned. And I did find a good tailgate. So that's pretty good. And it's got the XLT trim on it. Now it's kind of cool. So that'll be good. So we'll start getting it back up. So, like I say, the brakes are a little low on it. They do work okay, and it stops okay. And but the steering's pretty loose, so I don't know. I'm gonna get up there and take a look and see what the linkage looks like, or I think if I remember correctly, the boxes on these get kind of loose, so we may have to do something there. But regardless of what it needs, we'll take care of it and fix it up. Get it back to what she used to be. It's a good truck, and it's a workhorse too. So we'll probably, like I say, we'll get this back into shape, and we'll use this as our other race car hauler as well, and life will be good. So anyways, that's my little story. That's what we've been up to, and we'll check in on this from time to time and update on how it's going, putting it back together. So I don't know, I'll probably get down this week, and I'll actually license it, because I like to be able to drive them all. So there you go. The lost child has come home, and the way I'm feeling right now, it'll never leave again. So alright, that's it. So until the next time, you guys take it easy.